Dead Space. One of those games. One of those games that when you were a kid, you can't lie to me. Those necromorphs, the atmosphere, the way it felt like you could really die at every corner was done so well. I love Dead Space. We knew it was getting a remake. I think everybody could see it. Why would you just let that franchise just blow in the wind? It's really good. So here we are, Dead Space Remake Environment and Lighting Updates demo. Now it's still environment and lighting updates, but I feel like they're going to talk about the game. I haven't watched it yet. You already know, I leave the links below so you know what channel I'm getting this stuff from, but let's just get into it. So my name is LUNARWASLOST. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, leave a comment below if you want me to react to anything. And let's get it.
So let's get straight into it and talk about the Dead Space remake.
See him right there? I'm kind of like that.
All right, let's get started.
So we're gonna dive right in with the classic dark and claustrophobic headbanger hallway. Shown here on the screen is what Dead Space looked like in 2008, although revolutionary for its time.
And still looks good. Like, it still looks good though.
Let's see the design process and how it looks now. Roman and Phil, can you show us more?
Yeah, so actually one of the first things that we did was we went back to the legacy assets for the game. So we wanted to recreate with the proxies, the full ship, the Ishimura, to recreate it. And then our art team went in and started an added level of details to the environment so that we could have a higher fidelity and start seeing what can the game look like on next generation of consoles.
Okay,
so we
makes
went
sense.
In, added details, then
Smart.
started working on the shaders and the materials to try to have that metallic look that we were after, and just like to get the right materials out of the environment. From there, we did like a first pass at lighting to try to get the mood right, because the atmosphere of Dead Space
That is already looking creepier. Such little slate designs.
is pretty much on lighting, and then on VFX to try to get like that full picture of what are we after, what are we trying to achieve for the game.
A fucking graveyard
it looks great
indoors.
on a few stills, but it actually looks way better in game.
So what type of engine did you guys use to create this? And what graphics are you aiming for?
So great question, Jackie. We're using Frostbite as our dev engine, and we're going for obviously high-end graphics, high-end fidelity, and our focus is on lighting, VFX, and
sorry to pause. It's a longer video, so I'm gonna pause a bit more if you don't like that. I suggest run now. But imagine getting like the remake and then playing it all on low because your computer couldn't really handle it or whatever. Well, it'll be on next gen consoles too, so like you're technically still playing the one from 2008, because are they gonna remake the entire it's just a revamp the Dead Space one, or is it the same like kind of story, or are they gonna like update the story, make it a little bit different? And besides trying to make it scary, of course, like
just overall,
you know what I'm saying,
audio experience to make sure that we would deliver.
Like, hopefully it's not exactly a remade, or it's just kind of like a, what do they call it when they like what they did with The Last of Us, where it's like The Last of Us fucking I just basically want to say refurbished. You know the word they use? What is it? I don't fucking know.
Right,
somebody knows it. Somebody knows it. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
In original game.
Yeah, so I know we have a real live functional build currently. Can you bring that up? And this again is a work in progress.
So yes,
Wow.
That's super early. Like, it's end of pre-production build. We are just starting production, so it's really far from being done. But one thing we really wanted, and you touched about it, it's really wanted to make sure that we nailed the ambience, and not only the look, the lightings, the VFX, the fog, but also nail that ambience.
These two crates look like those little things you pick up stuff out of in like Dying Light.
Give you the feeling that you're in the Ishimura, you're inside those dark corridors. And not only it's in engine, it's actually in game.
Is that how he looks?
Here's my boy Isaac. So that rig, that armor,
Yeah.
it's not the original, it's a new one. It's
Yeah.
still work in progress. It's gonna be
You can fucking tell. Look at that shit.
improved a lot, but it gives a first taste at Isaac Clarke in the remake. Look.
Are they touching on the animations too? That shit looks clean. You can actually like kind of like what I kind of like. First thing that pops out to my eyes is, you know how like, of course, that middle part where it's like their health, or I don't know how it's connected to their fucking vital system, but shows them where they are and if they're vitally damaged. You can see the metal like things actually holding it in place. It looks really cool.
Here we are.
Wow.
I mean, the lighting, everything looks phenomenal. The smoke.
I kind of want to get a close up of the plasma cutter.
It looks
This
so
is-
good.
Very much what we
We got more angles.
should be expecting at this point from next generation graphics.
It's really Dead Space, but like you never saw it, I think.
So it has been almost 13 years, you know, since the original game came out, the original Dead Space. Why is this remake happening now, and what exactly is this remake? Can you elaborate on that?
So one thing that's important for us, and that's why
Do you see how fucking dark it is down the hallway and like a necromorph at the end?
it's for PS5, Xbox Series, or for PC, is that it's not about one thing. Like Dead Space is a super strong experience, and so it's really about improving on a lot of different elements to create that original but still new experience. Whether it's the new lighting and ray tracing, whether, like Phil mentioned, it's about audio, whether it's improvements to gameplay and having new zero-G, or as you're gonna see maybe later, improvements and dismemberment and how you actually deal damage to the enemies.
Oh,
Whether
okay.
it's about having an unbroken and continuous experience. It's about doing a lot of improvements and how we enrich that experience. And so that's really what that remake is about.
That's really well
'Cause,
explained.
You know, we have been looking at Reddit, we've been looking online, and there has been some people in the community noting that, you know, the game already stood the test of time. This is still considered to be quote unquote a perfect game.
Exactly.
That's
And
what
so,
I hear.
Like we should.
So the remake could either be a complete letdown to people, or you know, it could be it's all right, but or it's like it's all right. We have a new kind of rendition of it. Hey, we got some stuff probably improved that could have been better in the old game, but it's all right. It's not banger game of the year remake, but who knows? It's too early to say.
So, like I mentioned, what's really important for us is to capture that original ambience, that original experience, but like you've never experienced
Like
before.
you never
And
experienced before.
That's really the age we're after, I believe.
Yeah, and I mentioned it earlier, like we want to make sure that we're honoring the legacy. That's one of our production pillars that we have for the game. But at the same time, we want to make it relevant for today. Like the games
Okay.
have evolved a lot since the original Dead Space came out. From obviously graphics, which is like the easiest way to see
Yeah,
how
it's
it
graphics.
changed. But also
That like nah, like okay. I'm gonna let him. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let him speak. But Dead Space still had a horror aspect that you can't really capture. If like the only thing that could make it scarier is if you added fucking jump scare elements. Then hands down, Dead Space will still be one of the scariest games you could play. And it still kind of is. If you play Dead Space alone in the dark, by yourself, headphones, or like in your living room, sitting in the dark, it will fuck you up. Maybe not. Maybe you're a tank. You're an alpha. You're a sigma among men.
also as far as
Not
systems.
easiest necessarily to make.
Well, no, not easiest to make. No, that's for sure. But as far as systems, as far as just opportunities for gameplay and how to leverage it, that's something that we think that, given the evolution that Dead Space had within its own franchise with Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3, but also how the franchise, how just the game industry evolved outside Dead Space, there's opportunities for us to make a better, a more complete experience, let's say.
Yeah, I'm just blown away at how good everything looked from just even that small glimpse into the engine. It feels like
It looked really good.
I know you're saying it's really early. It's really early, but it's just
Yeah.
this is
It's really early, yeah.
my goodness, what is it going to look like when you wind up getting kind of further down the line? So that's really fantastic.
We might keep some surprise for later. Yeah.
Nice.
So, can you please now show the stat comparison of the original 2008?
You know what I like? I don't know if these are IGN informants. I don't know who he really is. I don't know her either. She's trying to be extremely professional. I feel like she could just lay back a little bit. I feel like he's really excited too and up, but they just chilling. They're just, yo, we here. You know?
Game versus.
Oh, look at that. They're definitely gonna put a little bit more glow right here. I feel like this got a glow bit. The little canister, the little stasis shit that showed you how much stasis you had where you could freeze them. And look at that little. I knew that this little light was here because I was gonna say it earlier. I was gonna be like, was that little the fuck is it? It's a hexagon, pentagon, 5 sides, pentagon. Because like I'd be getting like the Pentagon since it's a real building. Anyways, that I never noticed that there on the real because it's not there, so they added it. I kind of think I like the shape of the helm, the old helmet.
Project.
Kind of like the shape.
Yeah, that's a massive difference. You know, you remember your favorite game in a certain way, and you think that it looks great, but then when you see improvements, it's wow, big difference. Big difference.
I feel like the improvements are really
It's always interesting to see just how far we've come in terms of technology, right? Like it was only 13 years ago, but it seems like we've gone leaps and bounds where we're able to kind of take all the kind of small details you're seeing on the newer model of Isaac is really fantastic to see.
What are your current goals for the remake exactly? How are you going to honor the legacy of Dead Space? Because that is huge shoes to fill. Bars set high.
Well, it is definitely, and like the team is actually extremely passionate. We're referring a lot to the original game, having a lot of looks at it, and like I said, by making it relevant, we're looking at different games and what they did, and see how can we bring it back inside Dead Space. So, like one of the example is something that we're trying to do is to have an unbroken experience, to make the game fully seamless. How can that create an experience where the players even more immersed within the game than was previously the case?
And it's really one of the big
if you want to make it seamless, don't, first of all, skippable cutscenes. Don't add forced cutscenes.
objectives that we have for that game is that from even before the start screen till the end of the game, the rolling credits, to never have any break of experience, to have that full and uninterrupted sequence shot. And so that, of course, has a lot of impact on what we're building. And just starting with how the Ishimura and the structure of the game is built, because we don't want any cut. So there should be no loading. How the full ship should be walkable from end to end seamlessly, etc. There's a lot of elements that start to unfold when you start to think the game through that lens of really unbroken immersion.
And like really from the get-go, like we gave ourselves an objective. Like if possible, could we have players wanting to take the controller and play for 12 hours straight, never putting them down, not even going to the bathroom, just because they were so immersed within the game.
Speedrunners.
And that's what we're after. That's like the type of immersion that we want to be able to achieve.
That's
cool. Be a back of the box quote. You can't go to the bathroom on the back of the box.
But here's the thing. Remember, we're talking all this good shit about graphics right now, and it's like to achieve that experience is definitely not graphics alone. Hands down, a game could have great like environments, graphics that you just want to look at. That's a part of the puzzle, but you know, capturing that feeling he's talking about right there, it's got to be mechanics, hands down. And I feel like games, it really depends on the games. It's like the new God of War coming out. I know, comparison, but like it's like when just the regular God of War, it just everything was so well. Combat, the way they're taking the story in their own direction and shit like that, everything is so well built. So as long as if they want to create an experience like that, it's really like they got to get every single thing down. Graphics is just only one piece of the puzzle. So hopefully it really is seamless. And I know they're not about to come out with some fucking cyberpunk abomination. At the end of the day, I don't know. For me right now, the vibe I'm getting is it's just going to be It's going to be probably 100% scarier. 100%. But nothing to make you go like this shit is awesome. But again, everybody's different. So, you know.
But I also heard you talk about, you know, how you want to double down on, or at least really focus in on what makes Dead Space fantastic around the horror aspect of the game too. I'd love to hear more about that.
My hand's blocked.
So
I gotta go.
Of course, horror, it's one of the
I like how he says aura. I'm sorry.
main pillar of Dead Space, and it's about a lot of elements in Dead Space. So of course, the story, it's about that. It's that iconic survival horror story. You're alone, trapped on that hulking spaceship. But the main element for us was to get the ambience right, and so that's why we started with elements like, for example, the Headbanger Corridor or the workshop that you can see in the teaser, is to make sure that we capture the ambience. It's about more than just the.
So I get that. So like if you're when you're in the environment, at least when the scary things take place, it's like, you know, they're like, you're in a horror ass place. So horror shit is about to go down. So I get it.
Monsters.
Or the monsters coming in.
It's really about the Ishimura and how isolated and stressed you feel.
You would
when
feel.
You're inside.
So trying to create these emotions.
That's
Totally
really
get
an
it.
Important pillar for us, and so that's why we want you to be fully immersed.
Yeah.
And to never be able to pull out. From,
That's cool.
From that experience.
The pacing was so good. Like, it was a master class in pacing, the original Dead Space, to keep you on the edge of your seat all the time. And that's actually something that we challenged the team early on. Like, how can we make sure that we don't break that recipe, that we don't break the right amount of nothing happening that's going to actually increase the level of tension when you're playing. And so far, the team's been taking that challenge and doing an amazing job at it. And it's always something that's at the back of our head in every review that we're doing, and they're delivering amazing work on it.
It's one of the things, it's how can we keep players constantly on their toes, and we might have some surprise coming on that, and on how much you can be surprised even when you're doing something you're routine about. It's a lot of fun.
It sounded like they got the lock on this. It sounded like they know exactly what they're doing. It sounded really good. It sounded really, really good. I'm sorry to say it, the girl just did not look excited to be there. It looked like she didn't care about Dead Space. Never played Dead Space before, but but what can I say for Isaac's suit? I don't know if I'm liking the new design. You know, and that's cool. It's not for everyone to like. It's not for me to like. I like how it of course, it looks way more like high definition. But to me, it's all right. I'm liking the corridor. I'm liking the design of the corridor. They are definitely going in. They are really, for how they're saying they are trying to capture the ambience, they're capturing the ambience. I don't know. I can't remember. It's an environment and lighting. When they were talking about sounds, I don't know if they really did a sound test. Like, it didn't seem like it through the video unless I missed it. It didn't really sound like you could really hear creaking and shit of like the Ishimura was did it crash into a dock, or was it docked, or was it boarded by the necromorphs? I can't remember. I can't really remember. But to be fair, what they have so far, though, yes, it's, you know, they keep saying it's really, really early. I don't know. Like, it's looking good. It's looking really good for what they're showing so far. I'm liking the design of the corridor. I like the design of the armor. You know, kind of. Oh, he used this thing? Or no, they didn't. Oh, it's not. It didn't do it yet. And I think on his hand, he has the... Let me see. Oh, it would have been so cool to see how they did the light. Even though it's such a simple thing, like, to look at, it would have been cool to see. Oh, I thought the design was the same. That would have been cool if the light on his glove was the... Oh, this might be a circle. No, it is definitely a pentagon. Okay, it's a pentagon. Wait. Yo, I'm slow. Hold on. We gotta look it up. It's a Pentagon. I'm not slow. So I'm not slow, okay? I'm not slow. Pentagon, no, yeah. I don't know. It's looking good. It's looking like this definitely be taken. It's taken really like serious. I like it. It's definitely, if done right, it's going to be like, you know how they're talking about the old formula. If done right, it's going to be a top horror game, hands down, when it comes out. It's really early. And when was this announced? Let me see real quick. August 31st, 2021. I don't know if this, but yeah. People are saying it. Like, people are saying it. It's too early to tell, but I'm glad it still looks like the OG Dead Space, and the devs feel like they really care. That's what I like. It does seem like they extremely care. So we'll see. Okay. If you liked the video, thanks for sticking out this long. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.